Well, what's going on, San Antonio? It's Tuesday night, time to talk some football. You guys know me, of course, Loudmouth of the South, SAJ, and I'm not coming from any particular studio tonight. I just didn't really have time to research anything. So there you go.
What is up? It's BD. Man, it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since before Christmas. Today I'm gonna come at you from old school, Jay. The Kiddie Park on Broadway.
Mm, I remember that place. I
Yep.
remember riding those rides as a kid and
Oh
being
yeah, I
scared.
remember going there as a very youngin and just having a blast.
I remember having a blast when I was a youngin, and as I got a little bit older and went there, and actually started worrying about things like, the construction of rides and seeing how haphazardly they were put together, it was like, this might not be such a good idea. So,
See,
anyways,
you just don't need to worry about stuff like that, dude.
when you're young, you don't.
Nah,
So, what's been going on? Give us some updates. Anything new going on? Anything like that?
nothing really. I mean, kind of my teams are done with football for the year, so I'm just kind of kicking back and enjoying. Obviously, one a good note. Team BD, aka the Roster Baiters, won the fantasy football championship in our league, the Mutton Busters. So, you know, all the rest of y'all can suck it.
Yes, congratulations to the Mutton Busters, who are not sorry, the roster baiters
That's
who
right.
won the Mutton Busters League, and they still suck. So that's okay.
It's all right.
Um, yes, it is perfectly all right. This has been an absolute horrible season for me as far as fantasy football goes. Um, it hang on, I clicked on the wrong thing on Facebook and I started getting a feedback loop. Go figure. Um, just with the selections and with injuries and everything, which you can never predict, right? But all the key players, it seems like that wanted and wanted to go after, they got injured in some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
right? My team made arguably a business decision that at a minimum was controversial, and we're paying for it. And I will stick by my 100% absolute despise of the business kind of plan itself. And I still think we got hosed, right? Micah Parsons is a great player, but he wasn't worth the money we paid. And now we're paying him to rehab his knee because he's
Actually,
obviously
you know what,
done.
Jay? While you're talking about that, I created something for you for that, and I'm just gonna pull it up right now.
But we're,
And
we're already going to go into that.
yeah, no, right
Oh,
here, right here.
oh, hang on. Do we have music?
I
Hang
don't
on.
have music for it. No, I didn't put any music together.
Uh, let's see if I can find some sad music. Um, no,
No, no.
no. I can play some Christmas music. That's probably not going to cut it.
I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. It kind of fits. You know.
Mm, no. Anyways, yeah. So in memorandum of or in memoriam rather of Micah Parsons' torn ACL, he's obviously out and he's not going to be coming back until probably towards the end of next season if he actually comes back. I mean, it depends on how his rehab goes. And then will he actually come back as the player that he was, or are we going to see a much more chill Mike Parsons? And hang on, how do
That's
I?
the how.
For some reason, I can't share comments, but BD, you'll have to do it. But Richard asks
Dude,
about
why
Super Bowl
aren't you
picks.
having any comments coming up?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. Restream's being a little bit weird, folks, so we apologize. But Richard, you're welcome for what it's worth. We took Micah Parsons off your hands. It is very hurtful that we are stuck with him. And I mean it is what it is.
And I mean,
There's nothing.
I think you brought it up. And that's the that's like the $47 million question is how is he going to be once he comes back? And I mean, with knees, ACL, stuff like that, who knows? As much as his game was getting a burst off the snap and getting getting into the backfield, honestly, I mean, look, you know how I felt about the Parsons trade. I think you guys robbed us for it. For what y'all gave up. I would have been right without the ACL injury. So, retrospect, probably, knowing what was going to happen. Okay, we might have gotten the better end of the deal after this, but man, that just how is he going to come back? That's going to be the biggest issue.
Yeah, and only time is going to tell. Time is going to tell. We'll see how he rehabs. We'll figure it out. I am worried about losing. Oh God dang it! Our backup quarterback because he has shown serious potential, and I know there's other teams looking at him, and he's also coming off of a the end of his contract, right?
You're talking about
So,
Malik Willis, right?
yes, there you go,
Okay.
Malik Willis. Um,
So he got injured y'all's last game, right?
mhm.
Or was that the week before?
Both both weeks.
Okay, so he
So
so he played like 2 days ago and got hurt again,
no
or,
no 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 no
or he
no.
was out.
He didn't. Yeah, he was out. He got injured last week, but he also got injured the week before that too.
Okay. So I saw him getting
He,
injured last week. I didn't watch
yes, that
y'all's game 2 days ago.
right.
So
That was the second injury. The guy that was in 2 days ago was our third string quarterback that we activated from the practice squad, who we added on the practice squad about a week before that because of the initial injury.
okay,
So that game, what, 3 weeks ago now, where Love got injured and Willis got injured, Willis got injured towards the very end of the game, and that's kind of what put things into motion to get I can't even remember the guy's name. Like I feel bad because he's not a horrible quarterback, but he doesn't really have a whole lot of experience. I mean, the guy's green and it just threw him right into the fire, playing
why
against
not?
well, and you're not wrong. I mean, we played Minnesota and we basically played with our second and third stringers and still only held them to what, a 13-point win, which is kind of trying to make the best out of a bad situation. But ultimately, it's kind of saying, hey, look, when we're at our best, we're not too bad, right? When we're not at our best, we're really, really bad. But it's that's an unfair statement because we have made improvements over the season. Our corners still struggle. Xavier McKinney has been a big surprise for me this year. When he originally started this season, I thought for sure we were going to get toasted on our corners, and he actually made a little bit of difference. Hey, look, here we go. I can show comments again. So Richard's comment, Richard's comment, right? Um, Richard thinks that Green Bay is going to take the Bears in Chicago, and it could happen. And hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, man.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
We will. Uh, but overall, this season has been this season has been really rough. Um, and I think being that we're talking about uh, you know, just things that have happened that have really made us sad and everything. I think I really need to show this next screen, Brian, because you know,
Yes, this is, and you know what? I made this just because regular season's over. Jason, your your Packers will continue on to the playoffs. My Dallas
no,
Cowboys will not. So, in memoriam of the Dallas Cowboys 2025 season, um, an absolute waste of offense is what this season was. Um, the best passing offense in the league, the second best, I'm sorry, second best total offense in the league. The Rams had us by, I don't know, I think it was like 50 yards or whatever. But by far, the worst defense in the league, giving up over 4,500 yards, giving up 35 touchdowns. Absolute terrible defense. And today, Matt Eberflus was fired. Absolutely justifiable. As we were kind of talking on one of our side chats, message groups, it should have happened after week 2 when the Cowboys defense made Russell Wilson look like an all-pro. That should have been the first clue that, you know what, we're not going to be that good this year. Our defensive scheme sucks. We showed a little bit of life, for like 2 weeks in the middle of the season after the trade deadline. Obviously playing the Raiders because they're the freaking Raiders, and everybody looks good against them. But yeah, then we fell back. We're like, oh no. Sorry guys. This is the 2025 Cowboys defense. We're gonna let everybody score. So it was an annoying, a frustrating season. And like I said, absolute waste of a fantastic offense. And you know what? As much as crap as I give Dak Prescott, this was one of his best years. Obviously, like I've said, he's a good regular season quarterback. Well, he was a really good regular season quarterback this year. It just sucks that the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain at all. And now the Cowboys move on to 2026.
And 2 first-round draft picks, thanks to Green Bay, and right. So you guys are gonna be just fine. I promise you. So, for whatever reason, we are not going live on our own stupid page. I don't know what's going on, but that's fine. Whatever. People are obviously finding us. And so Mike obviously would have left him in there. And KJ, love your comment. Yep. BD is Charles Barkley today.
Terrible.
BD is CB today. It's terrible.
The round mound and rebound.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? I'm not a believer. No, Mike. I am not a believer. Again, I have always said Dak Prescott is a regular season good quarterback. He just absolutely sucks when it comes to the playoffs. And it was just so that happens the Cowboys defense was so terrible this year that Dak did not have the opportunity to suck in the playoffs.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm working on some technical stuff in the background. We're not broadcasting to our Texans Talking Football Facebook page,
Weird.
but that's fine. I'm doing some other updating as well. But so again, this has been a pretty tough season overall, and it's just not the way things should be going, So what the heck is going on?
So while you kind of figure that out, I mean,
Anyway, yeah.
While we're, obviously, the last game of the regular season was or the last week of the regular season just ended. So now we have Black Monday and turned out today, Black Tuesday. Coaches getting fired. There's a lot that, didn't surprise me. As far as, Cleveland's letting go of their coach. Obviously, Eberflus, should have been fired. Falcons fired their coach. I'll tell you what was pretty surprising to me was today was Pete Carroll for Vegas.
Dude.
And just recently, just announced within the last few hours was John Harbaugh of the Ravens.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. What is that?
I mean, Pete Carroll, you know what? Raiders were one of the worst teams of the league. I don't know if that's necessarily Carroll's fault because the Raiders just aren't that good of a team. They don't have a good roster. I think Pete Carroll's a pretty good coach. So I'm surprised they didn't maybe give him another year to kind of, you know, put all his schemes in place or whatever and just kind of maybe help build the roster. I don't know. And then uh John Harbaugh, you know, I mean he's been the Ravens coach. I think him and oh my mind just went blank. Steelers coach, Mike
Mike
Tomlin, yes,
Tomlin.
thank you. I think those were the two
Yes.
most tenured coaches, two highest tenured coaches in the league at 18 and 19
They,
years. Um, and yeah, I mean, the Ravens missed the playoffs by, I mean, by a field goal. Um, Lamar Jackson was hurt most of the year. It There was
mhm.
just a lot working against him. I mean, Harbaugh is a good coach, and that that surprised the hell out of me that the Ravens would fire him.
um, I'm sure there's probably more going on with that than what we know. Um, but I don't see him being without a job for very long. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no,
Um, I'm pretty sure he'll find a gig somewhere. Now, Pete Carroll, arguably a good coach as well. I don't see coaching in his future, right? And I hate to be
I
mean,
don't
but
know
I
if he'll
think,
get picked up this year. You know who I will think will get picked up. I think Harbaugh is going to be the first to pick up.
oh,
Uh, I wouldn't hate it.
I mean that
I wouldn't hate it. Uh,
that
Harbaugh, I think is gonna will
yeah,
get
I
picked
mean,
up really quick. The other one, the next one that I think that got fired that will get picked up is Kevin Stefanski. You know, from Cleveland. Like he obviously Cleveland wasn't great, but it's Cleveland. They, you know, other than like once every, you know, making the playoffs once every 10, 15 years, they're the seller of the NFL. You know, they've had 28 quarterbacks in the last 7 years. But you know, I think Stefanski has actually done a good job for what he's had. Uh, and I think he actually is a pretty good coach. So I can see him getting picked up. Uh, uh, you know, maybe by the Giants. You know, maybe by one of these other teams. So I think Harbaugh and Stefanski will have jobs.
yeah, I could definitely see that. And Carroll has a chance, definitely. But like Morris with the Falcons, Dayball with the Giants, Callahan with the Titans.
But yeah,
Not
Dayball,
head
Callahan,
coaching
those guys were
positions.
all let
So
go uh, early or mid season. Um, yeah, and I don't. I honestly,
yeah.
I'm surprised Dayball lasted as long as he did. I mean, he really probably should have been fired 2, 3 seasons ago. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah. So obviously this season has just been, and I tend to say this probably more than what I should. Uh, This season specifically has just been an odd season,
it has
right?
been. And
With
I
coaches,
I I I 1,000% agree with you. I mean, just look at the playoffs. Look, Chicago won the NFC North. Carolina won the
I know,
NFC
right?
South. I mean, what the hell is going on in NFL 2025? You know?
Uh, This is almost like somebody broke into Madden and put in a cheat code. And now somehow, the worst is the best is the
Yeah.
worst. I don't understand it. And then, the Packers are still mediocre. So at least that part stays true. And I hate to, continue to bash my team all the time, but with what we've been sold, I think we should be better. We should be leading the NFC North. We should almost be leading the NFC, right? And that's what all the analysts said this year it was going to be the Packers all year long, right? And then we get in the first couple of games and it's like, well, he's, Love's just trying to find his groove, and Christian Watson's been injured, and this, that, the other thing, and then by mid-season, it's almost like they were digging for
Yeah.
excuses to try and justify their false love for love, right? And it's just, it's just been bad. The injuries have been really weird. Uh, uh, what is that field that everybody hates so much? It
MetLife
it
Field.
took another life this year. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
MetLife Field.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, but it took another life
Yep.
this year, and like everybody, like the people that you would expect not to be getting hurt are getting hurt. The coaches, like Harbaugh, getting canned after 18 years. I mean, 18 years, you know, that would be like that would almost be like firing
I mean,
Landry or
and
Lombardi.
they made it, which is they made it to the AFC Championship last year, and no, I'm sorry, no, AFC Divisional because they lost to the Bills, but that was the 2 point conversion that Mark Andrews dropped that they would have won the game. Uh, so I mean they were a 2 point conversion away, a 2 point catch away from playing in the AFC Championship last year, and then because they missed the playoffs because your quarterback is hurt for a good chunk of the year, and you can the
Yeah,
coach. I mean,
I
and missed the playoffs because your rookie kicker, missed like a 44-yard field goal that, yeah, he should have made, but I don't know. That's just that just absolutely weird to me. Absolutely weird.
yeah. Again, this whole season has just been odd. And I wish I had, some kind of rationale for it. It's just not happening, right? This season is just going to be one of those ones that we chalk up to being one of the oddest seasons in history, and we'll see what happens. Knowing my luck, Chicago's probably going to wind up running away with it and getting another Super Bowl. And then I'm going to have to see that stupid Super Bowl shuffle again, right? Because they did it in 85. Now it's coming back at 25. And I'd almost be willing to bet that Jim McMahon is going to be wheeled out of some cryogenic freezer somewhere, thawed, and put out on the field to start the Super Bowl shuffle. And then he's probably going to collapse and, it's going to be messy. But whatever, I'm just saying, like, that's what usually happens with
Yeah.
Chicago. I
So
will
we're
say,
talking
though,
about with it being a weird season. So I want to get our kind of our suggestions, our takes, our who we think are going to win some of the NFL awards this season. Did you do your
um,
homework on that?
I absolutely did not.
Of course you did not.
Uh, Hang on real quick. I was honestly too busy focused on trying to do the research on all the different injuries that happened this year, all the firings, everything that was going on. Hang on. Let's see, NFL awards 2026. The predictions. Let's see. Um, wow, I don't know about that. Jackson Smith, I can't pronounce his last name.
Jackson Smith
Uh,
and Jigba for Offensive Player of the Year.
yeah.
So
Um,
it's between Offensive Player of the Year. It looks like it's going to be between him and Puka. And if you look up the
mhm.
stats, they're really close. Uh, Puka had about 10 more catches and just a handful more yards. Let me see. Hold on. I pulled up stats here. So Jackson Smith, he had 119 catches for 1,793 yards. Puka had 129 catches for 1,715. Both had 10 touchdowns. So really, I mean, it's kind of a coin toss. Jackson had a little bit higher average. It's kind of why I was going for him. You know,
yeah. Defensive player of the year, I think hands down goes to Miles Garrett.
you
I
have
agree
to.
with
The
that pick.
man broke the sack record. How do you not
Yeah,
give it to him? So, and
yeah.
I just want to say, I've Strahan. They were talking to him in between the shows when he after Garrett broke the record. And what did Strahan say? I don't know if you heard him, but he said,
Mm-mm.
"Yeah, well, I did it in 16 games, a 16-game season. It took them a 17-game season to break my record." Actually, Myles Garrett only played in 15 games this year. He missed 2 of them. So he
Yeah.
did it in less games than it took Strahan to do it.
Now, Strahan's going to be spicy because his record got broken.
Yeah.
It's not like in hockey where Wayne Gretzky went out and congratulated and hugged and almost lifted the dude off the ice, the guy that broke his record,
And
right?
it's just that's well, it's just for hockey. That's just the goal record. Gretzky still owns the scoring record, which is never, never, never going to be broken. Because counting all
I don't
assists and
know,
everything like that, I mean,
man. I don't know about that because I think that cat that broke Gretzky's record is on track to score 1,000 goals in his career, and that's going to break Gretzky's scoring record
I don't think
with
so.
assists and everything. I watch and see.
I
We'll
don't
put
see
money on that one on FanDuel. We're not sponsored by FanDuel yet, but we'll see. Anyways, okay. So we talked about offensive player of the year. We talked about defensive player of the year. Uh, Offensive rookie of the year is the numbers are saying McMillan from Carolina.
So
I,
I saw that. I didn't really watch Carolina play that much, so I don't know that much about McMillan. Second was Jackson Dart, and that's kind of who I'm picking. Just watching the way the Giants played with Wilson and then the way they are with Dart, just kind of the influx of life that he gave that team. I think maybe if you're just looking at stats, maybe McMillan gets it, but I just think intangibles and all that. I think Jackson Dart deserves to probably take it.
I definitely get what you're saying. Um, on this Draft Network website, they're saying McMillan first place, Tyler Shue in second, clearly in second, and Jackson Dart doesn't even come in until like fifth,
Really.
right? Yeah, but somehow they've got Cam Ward on here also. So yeah, there might be a little
I
something to go
will.
off
I will
there.
say honorable mention to Travion Henderson, running back for
Yes,
the
sir.
Patriots. Uh,
Mhm.
Carried a couple of my fantasy teams throughout the year. So
Yep. So defensive rookie of the year, they've got on this draft network, they're saying Carson Schwessinger
yeah, that's kind of
and
I don't know a whole lot about the defensive rookies, but I did see he's kind of favorited in everything. Got to look at his stats. He had good amount of tackles, had a couple sacks, had a couple interceptions. So for a
mhm.
rookie, that's pretty good.
Well, yeah, and especially with having, Miles Garrett there,
Yeah.
who obviously the spotlight's going to be on him most of the time because of everything that he's doing to still be able to be relevant and get some stuff going. That's not bad. Now, comeback player of the year. This one's going to be tough for me because it's hard to really kind of judge that because a lot of these cats I didn't really watch that much. Uh, so Dak Prescott's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually number 5 on this draft network comparison. Trevor Lawrence is on there as fourth. But here's what's weird. Philip Rivers is on there as sixth. He's got sixth place. Now, how does Philip Rivers beat out Aaron Rodgers, who's like at eighth, right? And
You know
Stephon
why?
Diggs is
You
at
know
seventh.
why? So, this is what kind of what annoys me about the comeback player of the year is they have made this award intentionally to be basically somebody who was injured the year before, who didn't play the year for injury and came back the year after. That's why. So the list I'm looking at has Christian McCaffrey number 1, Trevor Lawrence number 2, Aiden Hutchinson number 3, Dak Prescott number 4. All 4 of those
Okay.
guys were injured for
Mhm,
most or all of last year, and then came back and had good years.
mhm.
And then the fifth
And
one on this list is Philip Rivers, who I mean, which who hasn't played in 5 years and came back and played
That
3 games. I mean,
doesn't count.
and he was good. Like he wasn't he was a he was effective. I mean, I don't think they won the games, but that wasn't because of him. You know,
Right. No, he kept them competitive.
yeah,
And the thing I loved seeing is, classic Philip Rivers out there on the field talking trash
absolutely, absolutely,
because he
yeah,
100% at 44 years old was talking trash to people that were young enough to be his kids, easily one of his 18 million kids. And he was talking trash to him like he himself was back in his 20s. And he
yep.
easily could have gotten rocked, right? Side note, I found an interesting factoid about this. Now that Philip Rivers came back as a player because of the NFL Players Union agreements, he now has health insurance for like the next year and a half
The next 5 years,
or next five. Okay.
next five
Which
years,
is important because he's got 75 more kids waiting,
yep,
right? So, you know,
yeah.
it's at least it's good to see him doing football rather than like Uber Eats to pay the bills, you know. So there you go, right? Congratulations, Philip Rivers. But he should not be on the list because he was not injured, right? That's not a comeback player of the year.
But
He should not.
I don't like that it's the injured players that kind of get picked overall. That's kind of annoyed me because Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence, Aiden Hutchinson, Dak Prescott, all good players who just were out for a season due to injury. I want I like I would like to have this award to be basically somebody who stepped up and just kind of came out of nowhere this year, you know. So
Mhm.
it's what the league wants.
Totally,
I don't like it. I don't agree with it. So
totally got you. Fully support that. Um, Here's one that's going to be interesting. Let's talk about the MVP player or the MVP award. Who do you think should get it? Or who do you think is in the running? Give me the top three, and
so
then who do you think
I
should
really
actually
don't
get
think
it?
it's
And
just the
check this
top
out.
two. It's
Oh,
gonna be Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Those are gonna be it's gonna be one of those two. The other ones I mean, I know Prescott was early kind of in talking, for it. If the Cowboys had a better year, I mean, he probably would have been a top three contender. Uh, I mean, you've got Bo Nix who played really good, Trevor Lawrence who played really good. Um, but I just still think it's going to come down to either Drake May or Matthew Stafford. And you know, I I'm my vote is going to be for Drake May for it. I think the stats are pretty close for both of them, but just kind of
yeah.
just kind of from the eye test, uh, it's a real close pick. But I'm taking May.
So I'm going to agree with you. I think it's more along the lines of what Drake May did with what he had versus what Stafford did with what he had. Stafford has a great team around him. Drake May has a pretty good team around him, but I wouldn't say it's great. I don't think all the pieces are necessarily there. However,
Yep.
he still got things done, right? Now, that's not to take anything away from Stafford. And I despise Stafford.
From
Okay.
his days as a Lion.
He's a, he's a he's a Lions quarterback, and I will never root for him. Right? I might root for him to get audited by the government or something like that, but that's about it. However, I will recognize talent when we're talking about talent, and he definitely has talent. However, I think he's surrounded by equal talent, which makes him look better.
I mean,
So, in that scenario, I think the MVP award should go to the guy who had to do more work,
no,
which I
and
think
I
was
totally
Drake May.
see that. I mean, we just talked about the offensive player of the year, and Puka is like one or two on the list on any list that you see. So, you know,
Mhm. Right. You've got a guy like that. So how can you be the MVP when you've got an MVP player
yeah.
on your team with you? helping you be the MVP, right? That's not how these things work, right? Anyways, that's
One
kind of
more
pretty much
coach of the
where we're
year.
at. We do have coach of the year, and it it really isn't even close. This Draft Network page has Vrabel miles ahead of Ben Johnson, and the only next one even remotely close
See,
is
that's
Mike
kind of weird.
McDonald.
That's kind of weird. So
And
I was looking at some odds. I'm looking at it. I'm actually looking at FanDuel for mine. It's got Vrabel first. It's
yeah,
got Mike McDonald second, Liam Cohn third, and Ben Johnson fourth.
yeah. See, and this one has Liam Cohn fourth, and McDonald third, Johnson second,
And you
Vrabel
know,
first. Honorable
I
mention.
my pick, honorable mention who?
Honorable
Okay,
mention.
yeah,
Kyle Shanahan
yeah. So he was on, and,
because he's
and they
MJ.
even had they had Sean Payton on the list as well for this one. Man, I was looking at.
I can
I'm
see that.
surprised that Ben Johnson
Although,
was so low on this list because he would have been. He's my number one for coach of the year. I mean, for what he did with Chicago, everybody thought Chicago was going to be last in the division. Because it's Chicago and they're terrible, and they finished first place in the North. Um, and I think they had a decent chance at getting the number one seed. I mean, Seahawks. Seahawks have been pretty good the last couple of years. Now bringing in Sam Darnold kind of took a step up. The defense is playing fantastic. Um, so them getting the number one seed, but them being the number one seed is not as much of a shock as Chicago being number one in the NFC North. So that's kind of why I was looking at Ben Johnson. And Mike said about Liam Cohn. Jaguars had a really good season. Did they get number one in their division? I believe they did.
I
Yes,
think
they
they did.
did.
Yeah,
But again, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, and they have a pretty good team. So, I would give it to Ben Johnson if I had a vote for it. And Vrabel, the Patriots have kind of steadily been getting back up to kind of their old form for the last couple of years. You've seen some things here and there. So, a little surprised that they were number one in the division, but not as surprising to me as Chicago winning it. So again, that's where my vote goes.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. However, I hate Chicago. I'll never vote for anybody in Chicago. The whole town can just rot. Okay, it's a cesspool. There's a reason why it's south of Milwaukee because everything flushes down. You figure it out, right? The whole town is trash. Take that, Chicago. I hate you.
I wouldn't
Okay,
expect anything else from you.
there you go. That being said, I still do think that Vrabel. It's honestly, it's close, man. It is neck and neck between Johnson and Vrabel. Again, I've got to give credit where credit is due. Uh, and right here, Cohn is sixth place with wins in Jags history.
I mean, they've only
Okay.
been around for like 20
Uh,
years though. So, I mean, is that really that impressive?
I mean, if you've only had seven coaches, yeah, you know, it's hard to hype that up. Anyways, it is neck and neck, but I do think Vrabel probably should take that one just because of what he was able to do with
Just because he's
kind of
not
a
Chicago is
ragtag
what you mean
team.
to say. I mean,
Um,
you can stretch it out as much as you
no, I
want, but
mean,
it's just because he's not Chicago. Well,
I
you
would
wouldn't.
give it to Johnson. I told you, I mean, I'll recognize talent when it's talent, right? Even though I hate Chicago, I still think that there's something to be said for what they can do. And Caleb Williams, surprisingly, did a lot this
Caleb
year.
Williams going back
Okay.
to comeback player of the
Uh,
year without the stupid, we want to see someone injured. Caleb Williams would be the perfect candidate for a comeback player of the year. Somebody that everybody had written off and was like, this guy is just terrible, and just went out there and just kicked ass all year.
Oh yeah.
Perfect candidate for what I think comeback player of the year should be.
Yeah. Again, do not disagree. And that he should be on that list because of what you said. Because of the fact that everybody did write him off. Heck, I wrote
I
him
did
off.
too. I
thought he was
absolutely
going to
did
be,
too.
just another. Yep. I thought he was going to be another typical Chicago quarterback that comes in with all this bright and shiny, hopes and dreams and promises, and everything's going to be great, and life is going to be Jim Dandy, and then if they fall apart like they always do. But this year, that didn't stick, right? So maybe there's something about like a 40-year curse in Chicago or something. So, anyways, so that's kind of what's going on in the NFL. Things obviously are kind of all over the place,
Yeah,
just
we
like our
do. We
show
do have
is.
one more thing.
But
NFL, you're getting off the NFL just a hair too soon.
what do we
Week
have
one
left?
playoff preview. What are you looking at? What are you looking to see in the playoffs? Y'all are even playing. Y'all playing. Don't tell me you don't care. You're playing. I'm not playing. I should be the one that doesn't care.
I suspect that we're going to see some good
way to go
football
out on a limb
games.
there. Way to go out on a limb.
Well, hang on. I expect us to see some good games in kind of the AFC side of things. I'm really excited for that Texans and
I would say
Steelers game.
All
right?
three AFC matchups intrigue me. Buffalo, Jacksonville. That's good. That's gonna be a tough one. Buffalo's kind of like my rooting for team. Brahmaveo, I'm sorry, but I am picking Buffalo over your beloved Jags. So I'm sorry, but yeah, Buffalo's who I'm rooting for. I'd love to see them and Josh Allen get a ring. And honestly, Buffalo fans are my favorite fans in the entire league. So I just I want them to get a ring. So
yeah,
they are. I love
a little
them.
bit wild.
I love them. I mean,
deserve,
I just totally see that would be you and me if we were in Buffalo. I mean, we would just fit right in. I don't know about jumping through chairs. Maybe about 15 years ago I would, but now hell no. But
see the way my rotator cuff works.
exactly.
I got this rotator cuff,
dude. I hurt my knee stepping off my front porch like carrying a bag of trash. So I'm not jumping over onto any tables.
Well, see, but that's different though. You were stepping down, impact and gravity. This is falling onto.
I need to lead with the ass and into the table.
You'd be perfectly fine. No, I do expect to see some pretty good games. That Rams Panthers game has me a little bit intrigued.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just going to say this. If you don't have a winning record, you should not be in the playoffs. I don't care if you win your division. I don't care. Carolina won the worst division in, I don't know, probably league history. Not a single team had a over 500 record. 8-9, and you're hosting a playoff game. Give me a break. I'm sorry. Your spot should have been forfeited, really, and the next team should have been allowed in the playoffs.
Oh, kind of like how Texas got bumped from the college football playoffs because they wanted to have the Cinderella story.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If you don't have a 500 plus SEC record, you should not be allowed in the playoffs. You're banned. You know what? Your entire division banned for the next, 3 years. You suck. You should not be allowed near the playoffs.
Tell that to James Madison. I'm just saying.
You know what?
Anyways,
even if college. They took out Tulane and James Madison out of the playoffs, UT still wouldn't have made it because BYU and Notre Dame would have gotten ahead of them. All right. You know what? I don't want to hear UT fans whining and bitching about not making the playoffs. Don't lose to Florida. All right. You want to make the playoffs? Don't lose to Florida. I
tell
have
him.
been. Okay.
I'm gonna bring Coach on so
You
you
know
can
what?
have
I
that
think I told him
conversation with him.
already, so I'll tell him again.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely looking forward to that
Mhm.
Niners and Eagles game. I'm not looking forward to the Chicago game. Okay. Too many things have happened. Too many players have gotten busted up. And it's at the end of the year where it's the absolute worst. We're not getting anybody back really from injury.
Mhm.
We're going to get Love potentially if he clears concussion protocol. Um, I haven't heard anything if he has or not,
If
right?
I remember correctly, that if the game actually meant something, he would have played last week. I thought I heard that he had cleared already. They were just holding him out just because the game didn't mean a thing. So
You're right. You're right. I
yeah,
mean, we were already locked in. So what does it
exactly.
matter
I
besides
mean,
pride? However,
rest your quarterback
it's
for one more game coming off of concussion. So I
mhm.
think he would have played. So I
Well,
think
and
he'll be
we
good for
even
this
rushed,
week.
yeah, we
Yeah,
rested Jacobs also. So and it makes sense, but still, it's Minnesota, right? It's a
Chicago.
division rival.
It's
Like
Chicago,
I'm
not
not going to go
Minnesota.
easy on a division rival. I don't care. No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
last week we played Minnesota. It's a division rival. I want to stomp the hell out of it. I don't care,
Well, that's why you're not the
right?
coach of a team.
To me, it almost
Yes.
right. Well, that's why, right? Because to me, it almost means more to beat every one of your division rivals than it does to. It almost means more than winning the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is the most important thing.
But
But, but,
now you can beat your division rival in the playoffs.
and I hope so. I hope to God we do. But 9-7-1 going up against 11-6, it's going
But
to be
look at
tough,
the last
and especially
two
without
games
our
between
pass
y'all.
rusher.
It's been it's been a one score game both ways, super close. So I
Mhm.
expect nothing else for this game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it hopefully will be close. I don't know that we're going to eke out a win, but if we do, it's going to be a nail biter. I really think this is going to come down to the wire. And I hope to God, I hope they bring that kicker from I want to say he was a UFL kicker. Um, that when McManus was hurt, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the one that was dropping
Oh
like
yeah.
50 plus yarders, no problem. And then McManus comes in and can't even kick a 30 yard. Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyways, we'll get off that one. So yeah, some great games this weekend. Here's kind of how I'm breaking things down. I would not be surprised if Carolina pulled one out, but I don't see that happening. So I do see the Rams over Panthers, Bills over Jags. Sorry, that's the way it is. I see the Patriots in a very close game against the Chargers, but I do see the Patriots getting a win there. Um, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to take the Steelers over the Texans,
Okay.
right? Because it's the Texans had a surge, but you've got Rodgers on the opposite side of the ball there, and you can never count that cat out. I don't care how old he is, right? And you know what, Brahma babe, I still love you, right? It's all good, right? But come Sunday when you're telling everybody that BD and I were right, I just want that in writing. That's all I ask. Okay. Um, I'm gonna pick Packers over the Bears by 3. And 49ers Eagles game, I see the
Okay.
49ers pulling that one out.
All right. So my picks,
So,
I'm taking
but now,
once again. Sorry, Brahma babe. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking New England. I'm going to take Houston over Pittsburgh. That defense
okay.
is good, and I
Mhm.
think they're gonna get back there to Rodgers, and he's just not gonna have the time to kind of do what you would normally see him do back in the day. I just Houston's offense is a little suspect, but I think that defense is going to carry him this week. Obviously, Rams over Carolina. Rams should have another bye week. Carolina shouldn't even be there. Um,
Mhm. Take the Bears. I know that's the way you're leaning, and I would too.
I don't know.
But I
I
got a
don't know.
hometown homer.
I
You know that.
just even as much as we've talked about, dude. As much as talked about how the Bears are not the Bears that we've always known. That Caleb Williams is not a terrible quarterback. That Ben Johnson is a good coach. I still don't know if I can pick the Bears to win a playoff game. So I'm gonna go Green Bay. I'm
Do you
gonna go.
think
I
you
gotta
might
go
have?
Green Bay. I might be wrong. I don't know, but and I'm taking San Francisco too. Suck it, Eagles. I don't care. Suck it, Eagles.
There you go. Do you think Williams might have Dak
Maybe we
Prescott
don't know. He's never
syndrome?
been in the playoffs before, so those all those
I guess
those
we're going to
those
find out
bright
this
playoff
weekend.
lights may reflect off of his painted nails and get into his eyes.
Oh man, I'm glad you called it out because I totally forgot about that. Oh, good times, good times. Okay, so that's what's going on. College football, UTSA won their bowl game, absolutely trounced. I don't even remember who it
The
was.
First
Absolutely
Responders
trounced
Bowl,
them.
right?
Uh, yeah, yeah. And our good friend Milton Hope actually went to that game and had a great time. And he said it was incredible being in that environment again, watching UTSA be in a bowl game and win a bowl game again, because this is like
I
their
think the
second or
third
third
straight.
one
I
that
think
they've
the
won
third
now.
straight bowl. That
Yeah. And that makes me nervous, right? Because are we going to be able to retain Jeff Traylor if we don't keep, if we don't bring in some talent and we don't bring in
I
some
think y'all got
support for that program,
one more
you
year with
know?
him to try and see what you get. If y'all don't get something or any kind of progress by next year, I think he's a bounce. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
yeah. As far as for bowl games for us, it's been a few weeks since we came on and talked. So obviously A&M absolutely played terrible in the bowl game. Marcel Reed just flat out sucked. It was defense played great. I mean, defense held Miami to 10 points. And just offense could not do a single thing. Reed was throwing bad passes, threw a couple bad interceptions. I think he had a fumble in the game. Just nothing. It was a terrible game. Yeah, whatever. I'm annoyed. I was annoyed by it. But the rest of the playoff games have actually been really, really entertaining. Absolutely loved Indiana trouncing Alabama, 38-3, just fantastic. I mean, anytime Alabama loses, the nation wins. Ole Miss beating Georgia was also fun to watch. Oregon, dude, 23-0 on Texas Tech. I mean, suck it, Tech. What did all that money that your booster bought your team for? What did that get you? Not a damn thing. And then
Um, I don't know that I'd say that.
I mean, you got your
Okay,
playoff appearance, but you
because
got embarrassed in the playoffs.
playoff appearance this year, but look at all the people jumping into the transfer portal to go
There's
to Tech.
there's quite a
And it's
few,
Tech,
but and the guy said
right?
he was gonna this
It's
guy said he
Tech.
was gonna double down on Tech. So Miami obviously after beating
Mhm.
A&M they went in and beat Ohio State. So I mean I'm really digging the Final Four in the playoffs here. Miami against Ole Miss and then Oregon against Indiana. You know,
Wait,
I'm
who is
sorry, you're
Miami
right.
playing
I'm
again?
sorry. Ole Miss. Yep.
There you go.
I
Right.
mean, you know what? These are going to be fun games to watch. And when they Thursday and Friday is when these games are. I'm kind of rooting for Miami to win the whole thing. That way, I can at least say that A&M got knocked out by the champs. So I won't feel as
Yeah.
bad.
Real quick question. Did anybody call Reagan check on him after his Ohio State Buckeyes lost to Miami? Because he's a huge, huge Buckeyes fan. And I haven't heard from him since then.
I
I
saw
hope
it.
everything's
He
okay.
posted on there. I think he kind of
Just a joke.
gave a good game. So
Yeah. Through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, of course I should have known, right? Brahma Babe, of course, checked on him.
Yeah, of course. She
Um,
talked trash to me after the A&M game, and then she went and talked trash to Rig after the Ohio State game. You know?
yeah, she's real great at being a supportive friend, isn't she?
Yeah,
I'm just
fantastic.
saying.
She's got to find somebody to talk trash to with Ole Miss.
Yes. And as Mike G said, he's jumping the gun on us, but that's all right because, he's a friend, so it's okay. But Texas State did trounce Rice, which was very impressive.
You know what was funny? I didn't watch that game, um, just because I wouldn't. But I did see a highlight of it that the Texas State I did the president of Texas State or whatever kind of sent like it. I don't know if he was upset or what, but during the broadcast, Lowell Galindo for ESPN, he did a lot of the UFL games. You know, he was from San Antonio. Actually, one of my favorite play-by-play guys for the watching the UFL games and stuff. Just gets real passionate into it and stuff. You know, he's a Texas guy from San Antonio, so he knows kind of the sports in the area. And he was talking about Texas State and Rice, and he was like, you know, you go to Rice for an education, you go to Texas State for a good time. And apparently, they kind of upset the Texas State president because it's like, oh, you go to us for an education and a good time. I'm like, bro, come on now. Everybody knows Texas State is a party school. There's a reason why they sell out of beer any game Texas State is involved in. So, you know, you don't need to get butthurt about stuff that's true.
Truth. Um, it Everybody is calling it Texas State. I don't care how much lipstick you put on a pig, that
Southwest
pig is
Texas.
still always Southwest Texas. I'm sorry, Southwest Texas. Nothing changed, right? Except the admissions process. You got to be able to do 30 shots and still stand. That's
Mm-hmm.
it, right? Because they didn't want lightweights there anymore. Anyways, so that's kind of pretty much it for college. We've got some, games that are coming up. Um, Obviously, there's UFL news. They just kind of announced the player selection and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. We didn't talk about a lot of this during, kind of this off season and everything, because things are just kind of all over the place. It's literally, I hate to use the analogy, and please forgive me, but it's almost like Mike Rapoli at the helm is like watching Helen Keller drive. It's just all over the place, right? He makes promises, doesn't deliver on the dates, and then he sneaks stuff in before it's supposed to, like he said, it's supposed to be on the 10th. He sneaks it out on the 5th with the information that he was supposed to give out on the 1st. Like it's just all over the place. But I think at least as far as the structure of everything is finally out and the coaching is set. By the way, uh, good luck to Orlando getting Becked. I think that's actually going to be a good thing for them.
I think so.
Um, St. Louis getting who the heck did they get?
Uh Pro.
Prohl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prohl is an interesting choice. I think it might be okay. But then God dang it, who was it
You
that
know who
got
good luck
AJ?
to? Houston with
Mm,
Kevin Sumlin. Once again,
yes. Why?
as an
Why?
Aggie, good freaking luck with that. You know, I mean, do was a nice enough guy. I know the players liked him a lot, um, but the man could just you could count a fourth quarter collapse. You could count on a late season collapse. You could count on adjustments not being made. You know, in game. Just he
Right.
could not tackle that part of the game. So
Jason Garrett arguably was probably one of the nicest coaches ever. And how did that work out? Right? Like, come on. You need a coach that can coach. And just like Mike G said, um, yeah, it's like the Sumlin nightmare, right? Anyways, like Mike G pointed out, picking certain coaches because of the name recognition, because of the areas that they're connected to, is very much like a, an XFL 1.0 move, right?
Yeah.
It's the whole shock and awe kind of thing. And I don't know that that's going to play out with this crowd, right? This crowd has gotten to a point where they're expecting a
There's an
pretty
expectation
good
of good
product.
football. You know,
Yeah.
like previous XFL, UFL season has been good football. So this is, I don't know. I mean, again, AJ McCarron at Birmingham, no coaching
That's
experience.
what, thank you. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So I can't, I have to go back and find the post because I wanted to share it and I forgot to share it on our Facebook page. Um, but I believe it was the State of the Stallions Facebook group that went on a rant about putting AJ McCarron there and how they actually dropped in uh, projected standings. It just absolutely went after Rapoli, and Rapoli shot back,
I
and so
saw
it,
that.
it
Yeah.
created this whole uh, conflict thing. What up, big dog? Good to see
So
you,
Jesse,
Jesse. Um, it is going to be very interesting to see how the crowd handles this whole situation because Birmingham is already having problems with attendance. And Birmingham fans can say whatever they want to say. I don't really care, right? That whole Mother's Day game fiasco. I get it. I get it. Mother's Day
but
people
but
don't
I don't
necessarily.
I don't care. You know what? We spent every Mother's Day at a game as well. So
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
cares? You know what?
And it
Get
was
over it. Everyone had to do it.
it was in the afternoon also. So there's no excuse,
Yeah.
right? That was horrible. Uh-oh. Late breaking news. Brahma Bay said there might be some more on X, so I'll have to search that down and see what I can find there. But again, I am hoping for the best, but I do not see this playing out very well for the UFL. Okay. The choices that they made for the coaches that have no coaching experience whatsoever, not even like your quarterback coach or whatever, like literally no coaching experience, and you're going to throw them into the fire like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see what happens. Now, I'm going to turn the tables a little bit, and because I don't want to make it sound like I'm constantly bashing UFL, I do hope it all works out. We are still going to be continuing to cover the Dallas, now Frisco Renegades or whatever. Um, I don't even know where the hell they are anymore. And the Houston Rough Gambler Necks, whatever. Gambling's not allowed in Texas except in Eagle Pass. Anyways, we are still going to cover those teams because they are still Texas teams. But I want to switch the tables a little bit. We've been starting to talk more and more about the Continental Football League. And we haven't had a chance to really talk too much about it because, again, holidays and taking a break and needing a little bit of a breather. But since the last time we've been on, they've announced finally all four of the Texas teams in the South Division. Now,
Yep.
there's still only two North teams, which the other two should be coming fairly soon. But all four Texas teams are finally locked in here in Texas. And it's going to be obviously the San Antonio Toros, the Texas Syndicate out of the Round Rock area, or I'm sorry, out of the Austin area. Um, and then, of course, you have the Tall City Black Gold, which is in Odessa, and I believe it's Odessa. And then the
Odessa or Wichita Falls, somewhere,
somewhere,
somewhere around there.
yeah, somewhere over in that West Texas area because of the oil fields, right? But then the latest one, the San Angelo Sidewinders, which oddly enough was originally going to be an arena football team. And they decided that while arena football is cool and everything, it's not real football, it's arena football, different game. They decided to take their talents and try out what they can do in the Continental Football League. So they're going to be playing it's professional football. But like as we talked to Coach Mike Kelly about, this is like double A, right? And it's going to be a great opportunity for them to show what they can do. And it's going to be a great opportunity for us as fans because we don't have to travel very far, right? Now, granted, this is Texas. It takes 8 hours to get literally anywhere in the state, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Bernie's like 8 hours from here, okay? Or it feels like it anyways. Um, but we should be able to make every one of these games. And it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg like it did to go to Michigan or it did to go to Birmingham. Memphis was worth it. That was a fun experience. We found touchdown Jesus there. Detroit was worth it because we stayed in the 8 Mile crack hotel, and all these things kind of were great from a fan standpoint. But just about every one of those venues, the league was losing money on, and specifically Michigan, right?
Yeah.
What I like about this one is that this is much more scaled down and much more realistic of a business plan. Not even talking about like the fan ownership of the teams or the sponsorships and everything else that's kind of going on. Um, just the travel alone is going to be worth it. So BD, we're going to be making some road trips, and you know what? I want you there with me. I, I'm gonna let the league play out a little bit more and show you a little bit more viability and everything before I really start pushing you. But I'm telling you, you might want to start clearing up your calendar for the summertime because the Continental Football League is here and it's here to stay. Okay. Um, that being the case, I wanted to do a shameless plug for our show because for the month of January, we are going to be running a show on Thursday called Texans Talking Continental Football. We are going to be featuring players, coaches, staff, you name it, on Thursdays. Now, that's because there's too much going on over there for us to talk about in just 20-minute window here on Texans Talking Football. And I want to make sure that they get, the credit that they deserve. It's hard to compete with the NFL because there's so much going on in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Also, we spent 45 minutes just talking about the NFL. So we're going to do Tuesdays for the main show, Thursdays dedicated to the Continental Football League. And then when the NFL stuff starts dying down and arena starts picking up, then we'll bring Continental Football back over and we'll put it in the main show. Unless we have enough content, then we'll just keep the Thursday thing going, right? But we'll have to see how that goes. But at least for the foreseeable future, for January, anyways, Texans talking Continental Football on Thursdays. And Jim Hammer right here. It's all about getting yourself on tape and keeping expenses down is a great way to involve fans 100%. And that's the thing that I like about this league. You saw the slogan for the league, for the fans, right? This league is really focused on making sure that they're engaging their fans. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited for what this means. And in fact, as we're talking about it, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak preview because you literally just found out about this a couple of minutes ago. Well, I say a couple of minutes ago. It's been a little while, anyways. But we're going to have Coach Ellison, the quarterback coach for the Texas Syndicate, on this Thursday, and he's going to join us and talk about some of his, you know, experience, building and as a player, building up to as a coach, what we can look forward to this season. Obviously, he's not going to tell us like his plays or his playbook or anything because that would be dumb because we would tell everybody, right? Just so we could have a better chance of winning. So,
Right.
Coach Ellison, if you're watching, make sure that you don't tell us specific plays or anything, right? Because
No,
we'll
you know
blow
what?
that up.
Don't listen to him. We're not going to tell anybody. Just let us know. Let us know all your plays.
You know what? You're right, BD.
Yeah.
I would never reveal a secret.
We would never do
So,
something like that.
no. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. We get another person from the league to come and talk to us. I'm reaching out, trying to make some contacts with the Tall City Black Gold folks and the San Angelo folks, because I want to include them also. They're Texas teams, right? We're Texans talking football. We want to make sure that everybody has a platform for them to talk about their teams and everything. Uh, and Brahma Babe saying she's not going to get any time off from football. No,
No,
and that's not any different than the
absolutely not.
last 3 years. So I don't know what, this is what you do. Okay. You just need to change it from Brahma Babe to Toro Babe. That's all I'm saying. Um, or you could just stay Brahma Babe and just support the Toros. It's fine. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. But I'm telling you, this league is here and it's going to be awesome, man. Especially when we see the continental shift happen for the first time in person. It's going to be insane, man. It is so. I'm so hyped. Like, look, you see, I'm already I'm already amassing gear, right? This dope, right? Under Armour hat, right? I've got some of the jerseys and stuff downstairs already. And thanks to our wonderful sister, Tutem Bramasita, I inherited some of the cricket heat press equipment and things like that. So I'm probably going to be making some banners and all that good stuff. It's good times coming, man. I promise you.
Very cool.
Uh, that being the case, um, we do talk about arena football here. I am working on trying to get uh, a San Antonio Gunslingers player on the podcast here. I'm also trying to see if I can make some connections with the Beaumont Renegades and our favorite team, the Amarillo Warbirds, which have stuck with West Texas Warbirds. I love that name. It was
Yeah,
just
I
the
know.
best,
I
dude.
know. I know.
Maybe we can ask them about why the switch. But anyways, we're definitely working on trying to include some more content with the actual teams and everything. The other thing I'm trying to figure out how to pull this off, but this weekend is the high school all-star game in San Antonio for all the high school players that, have done some incredible things. It's going to be kind of like an East versus West kind of thing. Um, and I'm trying to figure out how I mean, I've got tickets squared away. It's just trying to get the time. That's another thing that we're going to try and do is next season, we're going to try and include more of the high school happenings because these are the kids that are the up and coming players that are going to go on to potentially be the next college superstar, to eventually then go on to be maybe in the COFL, maybe in the UFL, maybe straight to the NFL, like Sincere McCormick from Judson High School, right? We don't know. So we want to try and make sure that we include those young kids because they need spotlight also. So expect us to get a lot more engrossed with the football side of things rather than us talking about where we had dinner last night and stuff like that. So, um, and yes, I will reach out to RJ
Yeah.
and the Guppies, right? And that's only because Brahma Baby's saying that we should go to a Gunslinger Sharks game. Depending on how the schedule works, Brahma Babe.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
if
we're
the
gonna have a
Toros
lot
are
more free
playing,
time to go to Gunslingers games this year. So
then you may have free time. I'm gonna be chasing the Toros. And so if the Toros are
well,
away,
yeah, but I don't think the season's not going to be as long. So
no, but the arena football will be longer.
right, right.
So
I think
I don't
The UFL and the arena were like too much together. I think COFL and the arena are going to be kind of separated a little bit. I think there'll be more distinction between the two. So
yeah, but I'm talking about overlap in the
that's what
schedule.
I'm talking about too.
And look, you're wrong. I'm just telling you because it's going to be June and July when the season's wrapping up for the indoor, right? So
That's
um
when COFL is going to kick off June, July.
yeah, and
Yeah,
so
which is exactly
that's
what I'm saying. So that's going to be when the end of the versus starting in March and like going through all of the the arena,
I
IFL,
see what you're
UFL.
saying. I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
yeah,
Let me look at the schedule, being that we've got it here, and we're already arguing about, when we're going to go and do this. Week 13, June 6th. That's a Saturday. That's when San Antonio's playing at Jacksonville that week. Let me see if San Antonio plays Jacksonville here in San Antonio. They probably won't because I don't think they let Jacksonville out of the state. Something about their probation or
yeah.
something.
I don't know
Let
if any
me
of them are
check.
allowed out of the state.
Yeah. I don't see an opportunity for us to go to San Antonio plays Jacksonville one time this year, and it's going to be in Jacksonville. So I
No,
I'm not going to Jacksonville.
I'm
Sorry.
not going to Jacksonville either. Sorry.
Yeah. I might go to Jackson, like Johnny Cash saying, but that's about as far as I'm going.
I don't even know if I'd
Um,
go
and
there.
and, and oh, we have to. But anyways, yeah, we are funny. Deal with it. Um, We'll figure all that out. Maybe we'll have a watch party. Anyways, lots going on with football. Okay. Everything is constantly in flux here. So if it's not NFL, it's indoor football, or it's college, or it's COFL, or it's UFL. Like we've talked about this, but the last 3 years, I don't know that I've been so happy to be so surrounded with football. This is literally like 24/7. I've got football to talk about. And I'm excited. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, man. I just love the fact that we've got football 24/7. Um, I will say though, Brian, next show, next Texans Talking Football show, I'm going to be adding an addition to the studio. Okay. I think you're going to want to wait for it. It's something that I've been hinting at, but I haven't actually done yet. Well, I'm going to do it.
Is it?
And I'm not
I
going
mean,
to,
is this what you showed
it
last
might
week?
be, it might be.
Okay, okay.
So, um, and I'll explain why once we get to that point. Okay. But I'm going to keep you guys in suspense. You'll have to wait and see what it is until then. With that being the case, BD, let's sign off. Let's like this puppy. What do you
You
got?
know,
Oh, puppies. Puppies. Speaking of puppies, I'm sorry. One real quick announcement. Okay. You guys remember my co-host, uh, Biggie, aka Biggie Paws, aka Two Paws. Um, he's kind of disappeared, but we got this new guy. This is our new unofficial mascot. This is uh this is Cooper Derpington. That's not
yeah,
really his last name.
King Derp.
But yeah, yes, this is King Derp, my new little buddy. So I love this little dude. And he's gonna enjoy football with us too. Probably not, but anyways, okay, let's we're not here for a dog show. This isn't a KC registered, talk show host.
All right. I
Uh
mean, you know what? They're still in the playoffs. They're playing this week. Suck it, Eagles.
Yep. And just because I have to be the salty guy, suck it, Bears. I hope you lose by a ridiculously high amount, or you lose because of a stupid mistake because Caleb Williams breaks one of his lead press on nails and throws an interception. So suck it, Chicago. Guys, watch some football, spend some time with the family this weekend. Let's go. We'll see
See
you
you
guys
guys.
soon. Take care.